So we were discussing in the last lecture regarding two situations in which, although it seems like we consider two cases, one was of a free vortex in which fluid was flowing in circular streamlines, but we noticed that the region was essentially what? Irrotational,
Irrotational.
and there was a singularity point at which the circulation was
Not equal to
non-zero.
zero.
And we noted another case in which the fluid was undergoing a rigid body rotation. We noted that in this case, whatever element we choose, it is having a constant angular velocity omega. And this was rotational region of flow, although you had a rigid body rotation. Although this was essentially inviscid region of flow because there was no relative motion between the fluid elements, but then also you could have rotational region of flow. And you still didn't have any kind of body forces or pressure gradients. So that was the beauty of this analysis. Now I'm continuing with this rotation part. I'm coming to an example. All of you have heard about an aerofoil? Or all of you have heard about an aerofoil?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, if there was, say, a fluid, a tank of water, in which you had this aerofoil, and I start moving this aerofoil in this direction, what will happen to this aerofoil? What will happen to this aerofoil?
ड्रैग फोर्स लगेगा और लिफ्ट होगा थोड़ा.
There will be some kind of lift. So what do you think will the circulation around this aerofoil will be? In which direction? If you are moving it towards left. Anji. Subed.
Yes, sir.
Lift will be in which direction? Up or down?
Sir, up होगी.
Up. So it means flow is acting in which direction?
Clockwise.
In clockwise or anti-clockwise?
Clockwise.
Clockwise. And if you try to imagine, this is the trailing edge or the tail. So what do you think? Will there be any kind of vortex shedded by this aerofoil as it moves? So if you say you carry out this experiment at home, if you have, say, some object and you move the object through water like this, what do you see at the back? What do you see at the back?
Vortex.
Vortex. How does the vortex look like? Like this.
Yes, sir.
So vortex, this shedded vortex will be in which direction? The vortex which has been shedded due to movement will be in which direction?
Anti-clockwise.
Sir, opposite
This will
direction.
be in
Anti-clockwise.
anti-clockwise direction. This is called the bound vortex, and this is called the shedded vortex. Now, if I have a loop that is enclosing this shredded vortex, what will be the value of circulation about this loop? This will be zero or non-zero? This will be zero or non-zero. Circulation about any loop enclosing this shaded vortex. This will be correct or this will be correct? Hanji. I have this loop. So this loop is A, B, C, D. This is just enclosing this vortex. What do you think will be the circulation? Circulation means if I take velocity here and di here, I do it like this, v dot di over the curve ABCD. So what do you think? This should be zero or non-zero? Pulkit.
Non-zero.
This is non-zero. So this has non-zero circulation. What about if I have something like this? Instead of this ABCD, I have this bigger curve, which is now marked as say 1, 2, 3, 4. What will be the circulation? If I write on V dot di 1, 2, 3, 4, this will be equal to 0 or non-zero. This will have non-zero value or zero value. 1, 2, 3, 4. हाँ जी.
दोनों का मैग्नीट्यूड सेम होगा?
Yes, magnitude will be same because this shaded vortex has come from what?
Bound vertex.
So this will be zero or non-zero?
Zero.
1, 2, 3, 4. It will be zero. Why? This is in clockwise direction. This is in counterclockwise direction. So the net circulation inside is zero. Are you clear? Hai? Any doubts? Any doubts to anyone? Now I'm coming at second example. This is the same aerofoil. So this is again the same aerofoil. But now the change I have made is, so this is the same aerofoil and this is the fluid. Now what I do is, I have started moving this aerofoil towards left. I'm moving it towards left. And then just I stop this aerofoil. So this was the shaded vortex. Shaded vortex direction is anti-clockwise. This was the bound vortex, which was responsible for the lift of this aerofoil. But when just I stop this aerofoil, what will happen to this bound vortex? Because when I have just stopped this aerofoil, this circulation has stopped and the aerofoil has come down, which was earlier lifted a little bit. So what will happen to this bound vortex? What will happen to this bound vortex? Anji. I'm considering a second case in which I have just stopped the aerofoil. What do you think will happen to the bound vortex? What will happen to the bound vortex?
अपोजिट डायरेक्शन होएगी ना सर, नीचे आएगा फिर.
So it will be also shaded.
Yes sir.
So this bound vortex will now become a shaded vortex. So shaded vortex will be in which direction? In clockwise direction. So now if I ask you, if I again take this as the closed curve ABCD, what is the circulation ABCD? Zero or non-zero? Zero or non-zero? Circulation ABCD will be zero or non-zero in this case. Haji. Zero. And one more peculiar thing. What do you think? Will these two vortices will remain here or they will be convected in downward direction? What do you think? Will these shedded vortex stay as it is or they will move in the fluid? What do you think? Haji. Will these be stationary or they will be convected? Sayyid.
सर एंटी क्लॉकवाइज वाली नीचे जाएगी, क्लॉकवाइज वाली ऊपर जाएगी,
Why?
बिकॉज they are rotating.
They are rotating as a lump. So please be careful now. What is happening is the shedded vortex will move the red vortex in downward direction. This was in anti-clockwise direction. This was in clockwise direction. So this red vortex will move the blue vortex down and blue vortex will move the red vortex down. So both the vortices will be convected in this direction. So this is a very peculiar phenomena in which we see that both the shedded vortex, they are moving in one direction, and the reason for that is the circulation of one helps the other to convect and the circulation of the other helps the first one to convect. So both of them are convected away in this fashion. That is this, and this will be convected in this direction. And the circulation will again remain zero. हाँ जी, क्लियर है?
सर ये एक चीज पूछनी थी सर, ये जो बाउंड वर्टेक्स है वो शेडेड वर्टेक्स कैसे बन गए सर, जब
देखो,
हमने एकदम
हाँ
रोक दिया?
जैसे अब क्या था, आप ये सोच के बताओ कि एक सेकेंड, वेट फॉर अ सेकेंड, ये आपके पास एरोफॉयल है, दिस इज एन एरोफॉयल,
यस सर,
ठीक है, व्हेन इट इज मूविंग ये थोड़ा सा लिफ्ट हुआ होगा, मतलब ऐसे होगा, थोड़ा सा,
यस सर,
थोड़ा सा लिफ्ट हुआ होगा क्योंकि सर्कुलेशन इस डायरेक्शन में।
यस सर,
जब एकदम से रुक गया, ये जो मूवमेंट हो रही थी ये कहां जाएगी?
अच्छा, ये अच्छा बाउंड में कन्वर्ट हो जाएगा, उसमें शेडेड में कन्वर्ट हो जाएगा।
हाँ, ये शेडेड में कन्वर्ट हो जाएगी।
अच्छा,
So this bound vortex has been shedded, and this was the previously shedded vortex which was in anti-clockwise direction.
सर शेडेड का मतलब क्या है?
Shedded means it has shedded that vortex out of itself. This vortex was bound in this. Bound means the fluid was flowing in this direction. So this was bound with the aerofoil. Wherever the aerofoil was moving, the vortex was moving around along with it. Whereas the shedded vortex was here somewhere. So whenever it moves in this direction, this is the shedded vortex and this is the bound vortex which is bounded with the aerofoil. It moves along the aerofoil, with the aerofoil. And when you suddenly stop this aerofoil, this bound vortex has to get shedded and this sheds in this direction.
एक चीज और क्लियर है, शेडेड वोर्टेक्स की डायरेक्शन कैसे पता लगेगी सर कि वो एंटी क्लॉकवाइज घूम रहा है सर? कि जो
अच्छा,
दूसरा वाला वो
अब आपके पास ये है जो एरोफॉइल है, if it is in lift it means circulation is in this direction.
यस सर,
What is the direction of the circulation? Clockwise.
क्लॉकवाइज।
What about the shaded vortex? अगर आप ऐसे इसको मूव कर रहे हो, आप कभी आप घर में ट्राई कीजिए, एक टब लीजिए, टब के अंदर कोई ऑब्जेक्ट मूव कीजिए ऐसे इन वन डायरेक्शन, you will see some kind of vortex in this direction, that is in
Yes.
anti-clockwise direction. If you move the aerofoil or the object towards right, you will see the other way around, that is in clockwise direction. And then the bound vortex is in which direction? Anti-clockwise direction.
एंटी क्लॉकवाइज।
So bound vortex is bound with the aerofoil, and shaded vortex has happened because you are moving the aerofoil through the stagnant fluid, and both of them have opposite rotation. So that is why you have net circulation as 0, and this actually comes from the Kelvin's theorem. What does that state? So this was a large tank. What was the large tank? Was it under rotation or in rotation when the fluid was stagnant? It's a very large tank and the fluid is stagnant here. What you can talk about its vorticity at any point? So this was the tank and this was the aerofoil. Both are stationary. What about circulation? If you take any loop,
0.
Zero, sir.
circulation is 0.
यस सर।
Now, if you start moving this aerofoil in one direction, now after that also, what do you think? If this was a tank, very large tank, and this was the aerofoil, you were moving in this direction. So you know that there is one shaded vortex in this direction and one bound vortex in this direction. What about the region, these regions? Will there be any rotation here in this region?
नो सर,
No, sir.
No rotation.
नो सर।
Yes, sir.
Only rotation will be in this region.
यस सर।
If I take
Yes.
the entire thing, then the rotation again goes to
0 सर।
0. So you know that by moving a very small object, you cannot make the entire tank to a rotational motion. That is a practical difficulty in that. So originally also this was 0 for the tank, and afterwards also it is 0
यस सर।
when it was moving. So you see that this is equal to 0 for this entire fluid in the tank. And that's why for this bigger 1, 2, 3, 4 curve, you got circulation is equal to 0. And for other regions also, if you draw these loops, you get circulation equal to 0. Any clear hai? This has happened because we know that a very small object cannot set the entire fluid in the tank to a rotational motion. Is that clear?
सुनिए
Clear
सर।
hai?
सर
हाँ
एक चीज पूछनी
हाँ
सर, अगर हम सर्कुलर मोशन में इसको इसको रोटेट
हाँ,
कराएं
फिर
सर
होगा।
एयरफॉइल का,
हाँ
फिर तो सर बाकी सारे रीजन में भी सर रोटेशनलिटी आएगी सर।
हाँ फिर आएगी. Then what will happen? So you carry out this experiment. You carry out this experiment in rotation. say instead of this, I have this, wait for a second. I have a tank like this, which is rotating in say anti-clockwise direction, and you have an aerofoil here. This is what you are talking about?
नहीं सर, मैं बोलता अगर एयरफॉयल को हम रोटेट रिवॉल्व कराएं एक पर्टिकुलर एक्सिस पे
अच्छा
टैंक के अंदर,
अच्छा
तब सर उसके बाकी सारे मॉलिक्यूल्स में रोटेशन होगा सर, नहीं होगा मॉलिक्यूल्स पे?
Now try to think about it. If this aerofoil is very small
Yes, sir.
compared to the tank,
तब तो नहीं
then
होगा।
it will be able to rotate or not?
नो सर, तब तो नहीं होगा।
If the aerofoil is very large or comparable to the
टैंक,
dimension of the tank, then it will set the entire fluid into rotation.
यस सर।
And you clear hai? So
Yes,
in the
sir.
experiment, what we did is we took a very large tank and we took an aerofoil, small aerofoil, and we started moving the aerofoil in one direction. We know that aerofoil cannot actually set the entire fluid in the tank to rotation due to viscous effects. So that is why before also, during also, and after we have stopped the aerofoil, in all the three situations, the net rotation of the tank or the water in the tank was 0. Is that clear now? Any clear?
Yes, sir.
Any doubts?
Yes, sir.
So I'm coming to formally to the potential flow part, and you know that in potential flow, why do we call it potential flow? What, by the way, what is potential flow? What is potential flow? Potential flow is
Inviscid
what?
and irrotational flow.
Irrotational flow. And normally we treat it as
Inviscid.
inviscid as well as irrotational. We actually apply two things. So what does that tell you? Del cross V should be 0, null vector, that is vorticity is a null vector. What else do we know from vector calculus? That del cross del phi is equal to 0. This is an identity, that is curl of gradient of a scalar function is equal to 0 or null vector. So what does that tell you? If this is true and this is true, what does that tell you? V could be written down as what? Del phi. V could be written down as del phi, and phi is called the what? What should I write down? What is phi called?
Potential function.
Potential function.
Potential function.
So please remember, we could define V as del phi only because of this identity. If this was non-zero, then we cannot replace V with del phi. This should be very clear with you. Is that clear? Are you clear? Eh? Any doubts? हाँ जी, हाँ जी, क्या बोल रहे हैं आप? पुलकित, आपकी आवाज क्लियर नहीं है, क्या कह रहे हैं आप? हेलो,
del cross del phi.
डेल क्रॉस,
Hello.
हाँ जी, बताइए क्या कह रहे हैं आप?
Second equation.
हाँ, डेल क्रॉस
Uh, ये वाली इक्वेशन कहाँ से आई?
ये वेक्टर आइडेंटिटी है कि अगर आप कर्ल लो किसी भी ग्रेडियंट स्केलर फंक्शन का, वो हमेशा नल वेक्टर होता है. दिस हैज कम फ्रॉम वेक्टर कैलकुलस.
ठीक है सर.
हाँ जी, क्लियर है?
Sir,
Any doubts to anyone? Now I'm coming to, so we have defined del phi as V, where phi is the potential function. And now we will be studying the properties of this. So how has been the potential function defined? It has been defined through what? What? Irrotational nullity
Inviscid.
condition.
Yes, sir.
Now this has been done to define phi. But what do we know? That phi should satisfy what? The continuity equation. What is continuity equation? Curly u by curly x plus curly v by curly y plus curly w by curly z is equal to 0 for incompressible flow. So please remember, I am adding one more term here now. So in addition to being inviscid and irrotational, the third condition which we have added is incompressible.
Incompressible.
So whenever I talk about potential flow, I have these three inherent assumptions in that. Is that clear? Any doubts? So this is, so if you have, you know that del phi is equal to V. What is V? Ui plus Vj plus Wk. And what is del phi? Curly phi by curly x I cap plus curly phi by curly y j cap plus curly phi by curly z k cap. So you are equating the two. What do you get? U is equal to curly phi by curly x, V is equal to curly phi by curly y, and W is equal to curly phi by curly z. And now you substitute this in the continuity equation, that is curly u by curly x plus curly v by curly y plus curly w by curly z is equal to 0. What do you get? Curly square phi by curly x square plus curly square phi by curly y square plus curly square phi by curly z square is equal to 0. And what is this equal to? If you remember, del square phi is equal to 0. So this is called what? Laplace equation for phi. This is the Laplace equation for potential function phi. Are you clear? Any doubts? So we defined phi with the condition of irrotationality. We got the Laplace equation by invoking continuity equation. Now what about stream function? What about stream function? What do you mean by stream function? What do you mean by stream function? A function which satisfied what? A function which satisfies what?
Streamline, sir.
Hanji? Stream function is what? It is a function which satisfies the continuity equation. Now my question is, does it satisfy this or does it satisfy this? What does it satisfy? Or I should write down here,
2 dimension के लिए होता है.
2 dimension के लिए होता है. It can be xy, it can be yz, it can be
Z
zx.
X.
So please remember, you can only define stream function for a two-dimensional case. You don't have stream function ordinarily defined for three-dimensional case. Because you know that when you put curly u by curly x, for instance, plus curly v by curly y is equal to 0, you essentially replace u with some scalar function and you write down this as curly psi by curly y, and you replace v by curly psi by curly x with a minus sign. This minus sign could have been here also. The only objective with us is we assign them values such that when we substitute these values into this equation, we get a 0 here. And for this is satisfied. And this is also satisfied for what? U is equal to minus curly phi by curly y and v is equal to curly psi by curly x. So this is satisfied with this also. But normally we will follow this kind of nomenclature. So please remember, opposed to potential function, which was defined for three-dimensional condition as well, we don't have a corresponding equation defined for stream function as far as three dimensions are concerned. We have only defined stream function for a 2D case, not for a 3D case. So that is the inherent disadvantage of using stream function. So potential flow theory can actually be applied to 2D and 3D, but as far as our course is concerned, we will be only dealing with two-dimensional potential flow theory. So I am putting another assumption here, that is the flow is two-dimensional. So please remember, these are the four assumptions which should always be kept in mind when we are applying the formulation we will be doing in subsequent lectures or today. So if it is 3D, then this analysis will not hold true, which we will be carrying out. So it will be holding true only in case of incompressible, irrotational, inviscid 2D region of flow. So this is the inherent limitation of this analysis. This should be very clear in your mind. Hanji, clear hai ye?
Yes, sir.
Any doubts? So we have defined stream function. So we defined phi with this condition. This was definition. We defined Laplace through continuity equation. As far as psi is concerned, we defined psi with 2D continuity equation. That is curly u by curly x plus curly v by curly y is equal to 0, or it could be any other two dimensions also. Instead of xy, there could be yz or zx. This was defining. And what about Laplace? We will apply what? We will apply this thing or what? Can we apply this? Null vector. So what does that tell you? Here should also be null vector. So it means, what is zeta? It means zeta is equal to 0 vector. What is zeta x? If you remember, what is zeta x? Zeta is zeta x I cap plus zeta y j cap plus zeta z k cap. What is zeta x? Anyone? What is zeta x? Curly
Del V by del W.
del
V by del,
what should I write down? Is
V
it
by
correct?
W.
Is it correct?
V by Z.
Is it correct? Haji. Is it correct? Now, in this case, which zeta will you apply? In this case, which zeta will you apply?
zeta z, sir.
Zeta z. What is zeta z? Curly by
Del v by del x minus
curly
del
W by
u by
curly
del
x
y.
minus no curly sorry. What should I
Yeah.
write down? Curly v by curly x minus
Yes, sir. Del u by del y.
del u by del y. What is v? So I know that zeta z is equal to curly v by curly x minus curly u by curly y, and I know that v is equal to, or say sorry, this u is equal to curly psi by curly y, and v is equal to minus curly psi by curly x. If I substitute these values in this equation, what do I get? And I know that zeta z should be equal to 0. So what do I get? If I put v, so I get minus curly square psi by curly x square. And if I put this here, I get minus curly square psi by curly y square is equal to 0. Or in other words, curly square psi upon curly x square plus curly square psi upon curly y square is equal to 0. So this is del square psi is equal to 0, but now in 2 dimensions. And is that clear? So the key point here is the potential function satisfies 3D Laplace equation.
सर थोड़ा ऊपर करना, एक बार दोबारा बताना
हाँ जी बताइए.
सर. जहाँ पे जीटा जेड आपने यूज किया था, कैसे यूज किया था?
जीटा जेड, अच्छा ये वाला.
यस सर.
अब जीटा तो 0 वेक्टर के बराबर है,
यस सर.
तो इसका मतलब EX
जीटा जेड भी 0 होगा.
ये सारे इंडिपेंडेंटली 0 है.
यस सर.
क्लियर है?
यस सर.
So this term is equal to 0. So I am putting the value of psi as I have defined in this equation, and you get
Okay.
the value as this. That is the Laplace equation. So phi satisfies 3D Laplace equation, whereas psi satisfies 2D Laplace equation. This should be very clear in your mind. And it clear है? Any doubts to anyone? किसी को कोई भी doubt? Now I'm moving to a very important concept, and that is very important as far as your subsequent subject matter is concerned. So you are conversant, I think all of you are conversant with what is called as coordinate transformation. Coordinate transformation. So what coordinate systems have you studied till date? What coordinate systems have you studied?
Cartesian and cylindrical.
Cartesian. What else? Polar,
Polar, sir.
cylindrical,
Yes, sir.
spherical. All of them are orthogonal coordinate systems. Are you clear? है? All of them are orthogonal coordinate systems. What do you mean by orthogonal coordinate systems? all the three directions,
perpendicular.
they will be perpendicular to each other.
Yes, sir.
But you can have curvilinear coordinates also, in which you can have any angle between the three coordinates. That is called the general curvilinear coordinate system. These three are orthogonal curvilinear coordinate systems, but curvilinear, these are not curvilinear in true sense. Spherical is little bit curvilinear and cylindrical. So in actual sense, curvilinear coordinate system means you have three directions which may have different angles between each other, and also they may not be straight lines as you have in Cartesian coordinates. So we want to now actually devise a method. Say I have this coordinate system, this is say x, y and z. This is called your Cartesian coordinate system. And if I take two-dimensional Cartesian coordinate system, it is like this. So this is xy. I want to convert this into polar. This is 2D Cartesian. I want to convert this into 2D polar. How will the polar coordinate look like? And how will the polar coordinate system look like? This is the xy for two-dimensional Cartesian coordinates. So this is some point
R comma theta,
xy,
sir.
and say this is the vector joining. So this is R. What is polar coordinate system, if you remember?
R comma theta, sir.
R comma theta. So this xy is the 2D Cartesian coordinate system. How can I represent the polar coordinate system? Anyone? How can I represent the polar coordinate system?
Iota.
So say this is the R direction. Then where will be theta direction? Where will be theta direction? R theta is orthogonal or not? R theta is also orthogonal.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Theta
sir.
will be in which direction?
Perpendicular to R.
Perpendicular to R. And clear hai?
Yes, sir.
So please remember, this is the R theta coordinate system. So this is theta angle. So this is the R theta coordinate system. I can represent this like this also. I'm drawing it very carefully. You please be careful in this. So this is one direction. I mark this as I cap. I mark this as J cap. Then this will be R cap, and this will be theta cap. What are these caps? These are unit vectors along the corresponding directions. So this is I cap is the unit vector along this direction, J cap along this direction, R cap along this direction, theta cap along this direction. And clear hai? Any doubts to anyone? If I ask you now, I want you to write down R cap as a function of I cap and J cap. How will you write it down? I want you to write down R cap, because R cap is a function of I cap and J cap. ये तो आपको सबको पता है. If you remember, if I have something like this is x, this is y, and this is say r. What do you know? R x is equal to what?
R cos theta.
Cos theta. What is y is equal to?
R
R
sin
sin theta.
R sin theta. This is everyone is conversant with.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So all of you know this kind of thing. That is elementary. Now my question to you is, I want to write down r cap as a function of I cap and j cap, or alternatively I want to write down I cap. I am putting here, so I have two conditions now. I want answer from your side. I want to write down r cap, and I want to write down theta cap as a function of I cap and j cap. This is one. The second is I want to write down I cap as a function of what? R cap and theta cap. Likewise, j cap as function of r cap and theta cap. How will you solve this? These two. Pulkit. हाँ जी, हेलो, क्या आएगा? हाँ जी, क्या आएगा? चिराग, how will you do this? Chirag,
Yes, sir.
how will you do this? I want to write down the unit vector along r direction in terms of I cap and j cap. Likewise, unit vector in theta direction as a function of I cap and j cap. How will I proceed? हाँ जी, how will I proceed? So I give you a hint now, and then you can help me out to write down. Now if I want to, so r square is I square plus j square. Okay. So what is I square and j square? So this is not giving me any direction. So somebody is saying r square is equal to I square plus j square. So is this correct? Is this correct or not?
No, sir.
This is incorrect. If this was say point xy, what can you write down xy as?
So r cos theta.
R cos theta I cap.
R cos theta, or I can write down xi plus yj.
Yes, sir.
Xi plus
Yes, sir.
Y.
Yes, sir.
You can represent this r vector with xi plus yj, the two
Yes,
sir.
components. Is that clear?
Yes.
But now I want what? I want the unit vector. So how will I proceed?
सर इसके मैग्नीट्यूड से डिवाइड कर देंगे.
इसके मैग्नीट्यूड से डिवाइड कर सकते हो. तो आप ये कह रहे हैं, say if I have r vector written down as xi plus yj, I divide this with magnitude of
R.
vector. So that is this thing. This is what you are saying.
Yes, sir.
So what do you
Yes,
get?
sir.
And this is
Sir,
the
x square plus y square is equals to r बन जाएगा ना.
So what is this? X upon x square plus y square under root.
Sir,
If this is theta,
sir x by r.
What is this?
x by r बन जाएगा.
Cos theta.
ये सर cos थीटा बन जाए.
cos theta आ
Yes
जाएगा
sir, yes sir,
And what is this?
yes sir.
sin theta
Sin theta.
Sin theta. So what do you get R as? Cos theta
Cos theta I cap
I cap plus sin
I
theta
cap plus sin theta j cap.
J cap. Can you find out theta cap now? How can you find out theta cap?
सर बस इसकी स्लोप नेगेटिव हो जाएगी
tan
इससे.
inverse
So what should I write down? Minus
Minus sin theta I cap plus cos theta j cap.
cos theta j cap. And is that clear? Is that clear? What is the other way around? This is one way to do it. How can you do it other way? What you do is, you want to find out R cap. What part of I cap will go into R cap? What part of I cap will go to R cap? You simply what you do is simply project I cap onto
R cap.
R cap. So what is
Yes.
the project? What is this equal to projection? If this is theta, what is this projection equal to then? This projection.
Yes sir. I
What
cap
is
cos
equal to?
theta.
I
cos theta
What about J? If you want to find out what is the component of J on R, you will simply project J onto R.
Yes sir.
What is this? J cos
Sin theta.
sin theta
J sin theta.
Sin theta.
So R can be written as I cos theta plus J
J
sin
sin.
theta. Is that clear?
yes sir
And how can you find out the contribution of I and J on theta in theta direction? So what do you think? This is negative I. This was positive I. This is origin. This is negative I.
Yes sir.
So if you project negative I onto this length will be equal to what? What is this angle now?
90 minus theta.
This is theta, this is 90 minus theta, this is theta, this is 90 minus theta. So what do you get? Projection of
Minus I cap sin theta.
minus I cap sin theta. What about J projection onto theta? This is angle
Theta.
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 So what do you
J
get?
cap cos theta.
J
Cos
cos theta. And this is equal to what? Theta. Is that clear now? So this method is more geometrically attractive in the sense that you take the projections and find out the contribution of each in one particular direction and then simply add them. And clear hai? Any doubts to anyone? So what I can write down here is, wait for a second. I can write down R cap as cos theta I plus sin theta j and theta cap as minus sin theta I plus cos theta j. Now I want from your side to find out what should I write down here. That is for this case. I cap is equal to what and J cap is equal to what in terms of R cap and theta cap. How will you write down? And I'm again drawing the figure here. This is I cap. This is J cap. This is R cap. And this is theta cap. Now I want to write down I cap in terms of R cap and theta cap. So what do you think now? What will I project onto what for the first case? For this case, what should I project onto what? I
R
should
vector
project
on I,
R
yeah.
onto I first.
Yes, sir.
So what is R? If I project this onto what?
I cap.
I cap. So what do I get? This angle is theta. What should I get?
R cos theta.
R cos
R
theta.
cap.
Cos theta.
Now what else do I need to project onto I? The
Theta cap.
Theta.
This is negative here. So if I now project in this direction, what do I get? Minus
Minus I sin theta. Sorry.
minus
Minus
Theta
Ah.
cap.
Theta cap.
theta cap sin
cap.
theta.
What is
Sin
this
theta.
angle? This is
90 minus
90
theta.
minus theta. This is theta. This is
90 minus
90 minus theta. So what do I get?
Sin theta.
Sin theta. What about J cap? What about J cap?
R cap. Sin theta.
R cap sin
R cap sin theta.
R cap
plus
sin theta
theta plus theta cap cos theta.
Theta cap cos theta.
plus theta cap
Cos theta.
cos theta. And it clear, eh?
Yes, sir.
So this is the way to find out the unit vectors relationship between two coordinate systems. And this should be very clear. This is very important. And it clear, eh? Any
Yes,
doubt?
sir.
Now I'm coming to next point. Say you want to find out the length in XY coordinate system. Length of any line. What do you do? If this is dx, this is dy, you want to find out the length. This, what do you know? ds square is equal to dx square plus dy square. And you clear, eh?
Yes, sir.
Now, if I ask you, you know that x is equal to r cos theta, y is equal to r sin theta. If I ask you what is dx equal to, what will be your answer? What is dx equal to? What is dx equal to? From this equation, what will be dx equal to? Or what is dx equal to? Can I write down like this? Any doubts to anyone? Is this clear? X is a function of
R and theta.
r and theta. If I take dx, this can be written down as this. What is curly x by curly r? What is curly x by curly r?
Minus sin theta.
Curly x by curly r.
Curly x by.
This equation taking derivative partially with respect to r. This will be cos theta.
Yes, sir. Cos theta. Sorry.
What about curly x by curly theta? R minus r
Minus sin theta.
sin theta. So So what do I get? Dx is equal to cos theta dr minus r sin theta d theta. And is that clear? By the same token, I want answer from your side in next 30 minutes, 30 seconds. What is dy equal to? What will be dy equal to?
Del y by del r
Del
into
y by
dr
del r into dr plus
plus del
curly
y
y curly theta into d theta.
d theta
What will be this equal to?
sin theta
Sin theta dr plus
plus r cos theta.
r cos theta d theta. And clear hai? So this is the value of dy. This is the value of dx. In Cartesian coordinates, you know that ds square is equal to dx square plus dy square. What about these polar coordinates? Ds square will be equal to what? You will simply substitute the value of dx and dy. What do you get? Squaring and adding. What do you get? Cos square theta dr square plus r square sin square theta d theta square. I think minus 2 term will cancel with plus 2 term here.
Yes, sir.
So this is minus 2 r cos theta sin theta d theta dr. This is what is dx square plus dy square, that is sin square theta dr square plus r square cos square theta d theta square plus 2r sin theta cos theta d theta dr. This gets cancelled out. What I am left with? What I am left with? ds square is equal to dr square plus r square d theta square. Any clear hai? So what does that tell you? In Cartesian coordinates, you had linear lengths as dx and dy. This was in 2D Cartesian coordinates. Because ds was equal to what? Dx square plus
dy square
dy square. What about polar coordinates? You have dr and
r d theta.
so these are the linear lengths along the two perpendicular directions. So this should be clear in your mind. It is not d theta, it is the linear length rd theta that is in other direction. Are you clear hai?
Yes, sir.
Likewise, you could have in cylindrical coordinates also. What about cylindrical coordinates? If Cartesian are x, y, z, what do you have in cylindrical coordinates? If you remember,
X, Y, and theta.
x, y, and
Theta.
cylindrical coordinates.
R theta Z.
R theta z. So how it is related to Cartesian now? So this is x. No, I should not put this as x. Say this is x. If this is z, this should be y, because right hand thumb rule. If z points in opposite direction, then x and y should curl so that your thumb points in positive z direction. And say this is the point, this is angle theta, this is at location r, and this is the point you are finding out. So this was x, y, z. So the coordinates in Cartesian is x, y, z. In cylindrical it will be r, theta, z. R, theta, z. So you are specifying the coordinates of a point, say P. This is r, theta, z. So this is similar to polar coordinates with one addition only, that is the z direction. Any clear? Any doubts? So this will have the same, I will have same thing here, r cap, theta cap. These can be written down as what? R cap, theta cap. What will be r cap equal to now? What will be r cap equal to now in terms of ijk? I want from your side, I am giving you 30 seconds. R cap now will be function of I cap, j cap, k cap. Likewise, theta will be function of I cap, j cap, k cap, and k cap is again k cap only, because this is coincident with the Cartesian coordinates. But I want from your side regarding r cap and theta cap. Quickly.
So r क्या हो जाएगा सर? cos theta I cap plus sin theta j cap.
R cap, so it is similar to what we have studied.
Yes sir.
Wait for a second. Wait for a second. So I am showing you the answer. Verify your answer. It is similar to what we have done in polar coordinates. There will be no k cap contribution here. Why? Why? Why there is no k cap contribution here?
because सर जो r
cannot be projected on z.
सर
Because
r cap है ना x y axis में ही है
And
सर.
r cap and k cap are perpendicular to each other. So its projection will be single point. It will not have a finite length. Is that clear? Because our process was projecting, for instance, I want the contribution of I cap. So I used to project the I cap onto that R cap. So if I project Z cap onto this R cap, I only have a point that is of zero length. So I don't have any contribution of K cap as far as R cap and theta cap are concerned. Is that clear?
और सर जो r cap जो है सर वो x and y axis में ही है सर. z axis में कुछ आ ही नहीं है. अगर थोड़ा सा ऊपर लेंथ होती जैसे पॉइंट p पे होता तब कुछ होता सर.
नहीं, P पॉइंट पे भी क्या होता बताओ. जो Z डायरेक्शन है
यस सर.
वो हमेशा R वेक्टर के परपेंडिकुलर नहीं है. कहीं भी ले लो आप.
यस सर.
हाँ जी, क्लियर है.
यहाँ परपेंडिकुलर था.
So R cap, it means K cap cannot have any contribution in R direction.
यस सर. पॉइंट ही है वो.
हाँ जी, क्लियर है.
यस सर.
Likewise, K cap cannot have any contribution in theta direction because R theta are in a single plane and K is perpendicular to that plane. Is that clear? And likewise, I have written down as the final result. In this case, in Cartesian coordinates, you have dx, dy, dz What about cylindrical coordinates? dr, rd theta, and dz. These are the components in the three directions. Now, what about spherical coordinates? Any doubts in 2D polar coordinate system and cylindrical coordinate system? Any doubts to anyone? Any doubts to anyone? What about spherical coordinate system? I am coming to the spherical coordinate system now. I have written down the results. I want you to interpret first. How many of you are clear with the definition of x, y, and z? Any doubts in these three? Please ask me if you have any doubts. That how did we get r sine theta cos lambda is equal to x, and how y is equal to r sine theta sine lambda and z is equal to r cos theta? If you have any doubts, please ask me regarding this. Then I will come to the unit vectors along three directions. Dipansh,
Yes, sir.
any doubts in x is equal to r sine theta cos lambda?
No, sir.
You know how it has come?
Yes, sir.
So if this is your x-axis, this is z-axis, this is y-axis, this is x-axis. You take a point on a sphere P. What you do? What is the first step? This vector is called what? The position vector R. You project it onto what? You project it onto the xy plane. And then this, say this is O and this is say Q. Then OQ is what? Projection of OP on xy plane. Now if this is theta, what is OQ equal to? What is OQ equal to if OP is R and this angle is theta? What will be OQ equal to? Prashant.
Sir, r sine theta.
R sine theta. So OQ is R sine theta. And if this angle is lambda, what will be the projection of OQ on x-axis?
R sine theta cos lambda.
R sine theta
Cos lambda.
cos lambda. What about on y-axis?
Sine lambda.
Sine lambda. So this is what is written here as well. That is x is equal to r sine theta cos lambda and y is equal to r sine theta sine lambda. And what about z? What about z?
Only theta होगा sir, lambda नहीं होगा.
यहाँ पे सिर्फ होगा, this will be r cos theta. So projection of OP in x, y, and z directions is represented by these three equations. That is clear to you? Now if I want to write down r as a function of I, j, k, what should I do? What is the modus operandi to write down this? What should I do now? I should project I cap onto R cap. I should project J cap onto R cap. Likewise, K cap onto R cap. Is that clear? Is that clear? Any doubts to anyone? So I will do the exact opposite what I have done with these three equations. Now if I want to have projection in R direction of I cap, what should I do? Hand. Jolin. What should I do? This is I cap direction. This is J cap direction. This is K cap direction. And this is the, I should mark like this. So this is the R cap direction. What will be theta cap direction? What will be theta? Which direction will be theta? First of all, R cap, if I ask you, R cap, Karan, the question is to you. You know that
Yes, sir.
I cap is perpendicular to,
J cap, sir.
J cap is perpendicular to
K cap, sir.
K cap. What about R cap
So perpendicular.
and A cap? All of them should be
Perpendicular, sir.
perpendicular to each other. No, not theta, not K cap, sorry. This
We
is
say lambda, sir. Lambda.
lambda cap.
Lambda.
This should be perpendicular to each other. So what should I, where should I write down theta cap? It should be such that they are all are in
So perpendicular direction.
perpendicular directions. Now I want to write down R cap as a function of I, J and K cap. How will I do it? What is the contribution of, let's start with the simplest case. This is angle theta. What will be the contribution of K cap onto R cap? What will be the contribution of K cap onto R cap? I will simply make a projection of K cap onto what?
On, sir, R cap.
R cap. So this is equal to what then? K cap.
Cos theta.
So this is the contribution of
K cap cos
K
theta.
cap to R cap. What about J cap? This is J cap direction. So what will I do? I want to reach to this location. How can I do? First, I will come to this location
Yes, sir.
and then I will go to this location. So J is here. This angle is what? 90 minus
Lambda.
lambda. So it will be J
Sin
sin
theta.
lambda.
Yes, sir. Sin lambda.
And what is this?
So sin theta.
Sin theta. So I have got J sin theta
Sin lambda.
sin lambda. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Likewise, I want to find out for I cap. I will first go to this. This is I cap cos lambda.
Cos lambda.
Then I will move to this. This is sin theta. So this is I cap cos lambda sin theta. Is that clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Likewise in all other two directions as well. So this is the way you define unit vectors in the new coordinate system as a function of your original Cartesian unit vectors. We have been doing this only for one purpose, because when we deal in cylindrical coordinates, spherical coordinates, we need to define certain things and we want to interchange the different coordinate systems. Then these concepts will help us to do that. And you will not get confused ever if you remember these. And likewise, in spherical coordinates also I have written down here. So what are the three directions? What are the magnitudes of the increments in the three direction? dr, rd theta, and r sin theta, d lambda. So I am summarizing here. It was dx, dy in Cartesian coordinates. In polar 2D, it was dr and RD theta. In cylindrical it is dr RD theta and dz. In Cartesian I should write down dz also. In spherical it is dr RD theta r sine theta d lambda. So these should be clear in your mind. Now I will leave you with an exercise and I will ask you in the next lecture. I want from your side, I have written down the results here, but I want you to find out that if del operator of any scalar function phi, you know that it is written down as like this. I want you to write down equivalent expression for other three coordinate systems. The question is clear to you or not?
Yes, sir. Psi
I
JK
want a
के
hint
अलावा
from your side, then we will end up the meeting today. How will you proceed? What all you need to convert? What all you need to convert?
sir I cap, J cap and K
So
cap.
these are I cap, J cap and K cap. So these are unit vectors in Cartesian coordinates. So you
Yes,
will
sir.
need to convert these into corresponding coordinate system, whether it is spherical, cylindrical or polar. This is one thing. What else?
And sir
You have a derivative with respect to x, y and
Z.
z. But you want where derivative in terms of what? Derivative was in terms of x, y, z. You now want derivative in terms of what?
R and theta.
These. So I will show the screen for next 1 minute so that you can write down this also. But what I want from your side is, I want the derivation part of these expressions, that how you will proceed. This is in Cartesian coordinates. This is in 2D polar. This is cylindrical. And this is spherical coordinates. So this is a del operator represented in all the coordinate systems. And this is very important as far as your potential flow is concerned, because we might be using different coordinate systems. And then if you want to compute the del operator in any coordinate system, you will simply use these end results. But you should be aware from what and from where we have got these results. So if you have any doubts, please come up with your doubts. Otherwise, I will end the meeting now. And I'm again reiterating the fact that quiz now will be on 5th November and 7th November. 5th November, it will start at 11:25. And on 7th November, it will start at 5 p.m. Any doubts? You come up with your doubts. Otherwise, I will end the meeting now.
Yes, sir.
Any doubts to anyone? So please submit. Many of you have already submitted the solution to tutorial sheet number 4. So by Sunday evening, I want the derivation part of all these 4 expressions, rather 3 expressions, and the 4th tutorial sheet to be submitted to me latest by 5 p.m. Sunday 5 p.m. I want you to derive these 3. And also submit tube sheet number 4 solution if you have not submitted yet. I am ending the meeting now.
Okay, sir.
Okay
Thank
then.
you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.